world champion header Tyler Wade, welcome to the Succeed booth. I'm Lynn Cool.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no, thanks for joining me today. We're here at the USTRC Finals in Fort Worth, Texas, and we've got a lot of activity going on over here in the John Justin. So I know you're up a little bit later today. Still gonna rope?
Yeah, I actually didn't expect there to be this many teams. I showed up kind of early, so it worked out. But
Yeah.
it the sport of team ropes is growing, that's for sure.
Yeah. Well, so Tyler, before we get started, I think that we need to bring up the elephant in the room, Jumanji.
Yeah, everyone loves Jumanji, that's for sure. I don't know how it. I think they posted the video of me trying to bridle him and him running off as a
The-
joke, and then it seemed like that's what everyone loved to look at more than
went
us catching
viral.
or missing
It
spear
went
and stuff.
viral.
Oh yeah, for sure. At my expense, but that's fine.
Well, and in fact, when the Succeed team told me that I was going to be interviewing you, I'm like, oh, you mean the Jumanji guy?
Yeah.
I mean, just forget about
You
all the
can't win
world
enough to get away
championships.
from that.
No, like that is it's awesome.
That horse does not get Succeed, just so you know. He's not on the list. He does get it, but he gets it at his feet. If he's not taking a tube to the mouth ever. So
I was going to ask about that because I mean, maybe if he had Succeed, it might change his attitude.
it might. I don't know. Nothing's gonna change his attitude at this point, I don't think. But you just gotta put it in the feed bucket and hope that he takes it. So because he's not gonna let you get and hear him with that tube to Succeed. So he's the only one. All the other horses, when we get it to them, they literally stand at the gates and look forward to it. And you don't have to catch one horse to give it to him after they've been giving it for a while.
Yeah.
But he still stands at the back, and you just put it in the trough, and then
Yeah.
he'll clean it up later.
He's got trust issues.
He's got a lot of issues.
How long have you owned him?
I've owned him 6 years.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and
I'm going to assume he showed up with trust issues.
he showed up with I actually, when I went to try the horse, he was so bad just to saddle. I told the guy, I was like, I'm not riding that horse. You're gonna have to ride him. I was like, I don't want to ride him because I couldn't even saddle him. And he saddles him and ropes a couple, and I was like, he did look pretty good,
Yeah.
roping wise. So I was like, I do need a practice horse. So I actually it was a blessing. But at the time when I was like, I'm not the test dummy. I'm not gonna try. I'm not gonna ride this horse. So, but I'm glad it worked out.
That's awesome. Well, all right. So let's switch gears and talk a little bit about maybe some horses that are easier to manage and easier to deal with. And what is it when you're out looking for prospects? I mean, the horses are faster, the competition's tougher. Like when you're looking for prospects, what are you looking for?
Well, I think you start with the foundation, the way they're built, because you want a horse that's going to hold up.
Yeah.
And fortunately for me, my wife runs barrels, and heading now is so competitive as well. Like in barrel racing heading, you need a racehorse. You need a fast horse.
Yeah.
So we kind of feed off each other on trying to find that perfect horse that's built to last with the speed, and hoping that he has the mind to take the heading or the barrel racing one
Yeah.
at a high level. So we start hoping for the very best. And I don't know, we've been looking hard. We've been breeding a lot of our own. And
Nice.
my wife's a barrel racer, so she knows a ton more than me about obviously horses, horse care, breeding, all that stuff. But I'm learning a little bit as we go. And luckily I can piggyback off her with all the stuff I'm missing.
All right. So if we're going to talk about supplements, then perhaps I should be interviewing your wife and not you.
Yeah, honestly, she's the one that when we choose a feed,
Yeah.
she's going through the whole list, where I'm going through the price of the feed and how much I could give him for this amount of money.
Yeah.
And she's going through the quality of the feed, the quality of the supplements and things like that. And she told me, these boxes started just showing up at the house. And I was like, what is this? She's like, Succeed. We need to give it to him. And then so that's literally how it started. She's like, we're going to give them this. She's like, I think it's going to help them drink on the road, help their digestive system. Especially where we are, we feed in Texas, alfalfa's so high, we feed a lot of grass too.
Yeah.
So helping them digest all of that
Yeah.
is important as well. So we feed alfalfa and grass, and we give them Succeed, we give them Equinety, and we're pretty proud of our program as a whole, and that's all thanks to her though. She's the one that does all the research and gets it rolling, and
Yeah.
I just kind of, like I said, piggyback off what she tells me.
Yeah. But I'm going to guess that you notice it in the behavior of the horses. I mean, if you've got a horse that's, that something just doesn't seem right, maybe it's a new horse that comes to your program that hasn't had the succeed yet. I'm gonna guess that you notice it.
Oh, you can notice a lot of things,
Yeah.
like, and then some of it, will be, in lack of a better term, is like hearsay. Like they think this and they think this, right? But like as a whole, I know a few different things as far as like when you go to worm a horse, you worm
Yeah.
him 2 or 3 times a year and they hate it and then they fight you for it, right?
Uh-huh.
So like they succeed after a day or two, they start coming to you
Yeah.
wanting it, so that's
Yeah.
cool just to see in itself. And you can give them succeed on the trailer, and we're able to take hauls 8 hours before we get them out of the
Yeah.
trailer, clean it, and offer them a drink of water
Yeah.
at a truck stop somewhere where they're just looking around the whole time and
Yeah.
not really apt to drink anyways.
Yeah.
And I shoot that tube to them right before we get on the trailer,
Yeah.
and we offer them a drink 6 hours down the road. They're wanting to drink, which is obviously helping their digestive system, everything.
Yeah.
And that's like a team roper's point of view with just a common, easy way to subscribe what we're doing here.
Yeah. No, and I imagine you're getting ready to start the summer run and gonna spend a lot of hours on the road.
Yeah, and two, I mean, it's hot a lot of times where
Yeah.
we go, and just in the when we the hay pod's only so full, so when we run out of hay, we're getting new hay and it
Yeah.
changes, and there's so many things that change that you got to have that horse. They need something consistent that's
Yeah.
not going to change
Yeah.
in their digestive system.
Yeah.
So
What are some of the other consistent things that you carry that like you just will not compromise on when you're loading up and competing at your level? What else won't you compromise on?
well, I think like just from I've rodeoed for 14 years now,
Yeah.
so like there's certain things like a vet box that we can't go without.
Yeah.
And ExactRx helps us out with finding certain drugs you're going to need, whether it's Previcox or Banamine and certain things like
Yeah.
that. um there's been times those horses get buddy sour after being together so long,
Yeah.
where you almost need to ace the horse just to keep him calm enough to just to keep their stress level as low as you can, and succeed helps with that too.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think there's obviously, for me, I get the ropes, I get my saddles,
Yeah.
and then I let Jesse get everything to do with the horse after
I
that.
wondered
But
about that. So Jesse's loading those
I'm
things
like, I
from the
got my
trailer.
ropes and my hat and my boots today, and
Yeah.
I let her take the reins after that. But she does such a good job with it, and she's passionate about it. And
Yeah.
if she supports it, I know it's a product that's been looked through thoroughly,
Yeah.
investigated in, and
Yeah.
like, we believe in it. So
Yeah.
it's cool. I believe in her, she believes in everything we're doing, so I just go
Yeah.
with that.
And you've got your son Weston with you today, and your wife is off. He's sitting over there in the chair. Your wife is off at a barrel race
Yep.
with your youngest, right? So when you're traveling, is it a family event? Do your wife and your kids go with you on the road all summer, or is that just too
They
hard?
do. They don't go the 4th of July just because it's so hectic and
Yeah.
busy. And it would kinda be miserable. They would live in a car seat for 10 days if we did that, but
Yeah.
after that, they go with us all summer.
Yeah.
And I don't think I would rodeo at this point if they couldn't go with me,
Yeah.
but it's fun, and I ask Weston all the time, I'm like, "Hey, do you hate the road?" And, I said, "'Cause if you hate it, I'll stay home at this
Ah,
point," like, but honestly, I mean, every rodeo has a carnival now, and a fair and everything in between, so, like, he's looking forward to it more than
yeah.
ever most of the time, so,
Yeah.
and he knows all the stops, and he knows where we went to the water park, and he
Yeah.
knows where he asked us here today at Fort Worth because he remembers the rodeo area. He's like, "The carnival's not over there this year." I'm like, "Yeah, sorry, man. No
Yeah.
carnival today. It's team roping," but
Uh,
he
well,
loves it.
yeah, and I imagine at 7 years old too, he's developing some lifelong friends.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
The rodeo family.
There's
The rodeo family
segways
is a big family.
segways and roping dummies. No, it's all in the just flooded the parking lot right now, so
Yeah, no, I love it.
he does.
That's
He likes it a
awesome.
lot.
That's awesome. So let's go back to talking a bit about your horses. I mean, how many horses do you keep on the road with you when you're running?
It just depends, like, team roping's gotten so competitive and the setups change so much from the
Right.
indoor buildings where there's 3-second runs
Yeah.
to Cheyenne where 11 is a good set run,
Yeah.
So, like, you're gonna need, one, we have horses that are versatile, but some are better than others at certain scenarios.
Yeah.
So, ideally, a guy has at least 3 really good horses at
Yeah.
all times, and we fluctuate where they go as far as trying to keep the older ones not getting hauled as
Yeah.
much, and the young ones the right spots where they can still succeed, and
Yeah.
so there's a lot that goes into it. But if my wife and I go together, loaded, really trying to win something, we'll probably have 5 horses with us
Yeah.
at all times. So,
Yeah. Yeah, and when you're developing those young horses, I mean, you're thinking about those different setups and, the types of horses that, quick speed, 3, 4-second run, and then the Cheyenne horses are all different.
oh yeah, they're so different. And then we'll try to put them in a spot where they do really good with like, maybe a roping that doesn't pay as much, where we just focus on them as not as much as winning. And then until we get confidence in them and build their confidence, that way when the big money's on the line, they are ready, and we're trusting them at that point.
Yeah. Is there what horse are you always gonna take to Vegas?
Um, for the last 6 years, I rode a bay horse we call Spur,
Yeah.
and he's exceptional in there. He's really good. He's quick footed, and honestly, just I've ran 60 steers at the NFR in there, and he hasn't let me down yet. So it's hard not to stay on a horse
And
like that.
Spur.
I have a buckskin horse we call Juicy that I would feel just as confident riding if Spur didn't feel so trustworthy.
Yeah.
And at the longer scores and the big setups like Cheyenne and stuff, I have a horse we call Shimmy that like he's huge. He's like 16, 1 or 2, probably 1,400 pounds. He's a
Yeah.
monster, but like at the run them down setups and the big long scores, I feel like he's one of the best horses I've got to compete on. So um, right now, I feel like we have a really good team of just those 3,
Yeah.
along with all the ones we've been breeding and coming up and trying to, we've been keeping all the what we thought were, the most potential candidates to move forward.
Yeah.
It feels like you're going to have at least 6, 3 good ones and a couple coming along the way to see who's going to fill those gaps. So, but, no matter no matter how many you have, if one goes down, you always feel a foot at certain scenarios. So it's like, I don't know anyone that has too many good horses.
Yeah. Well, and you're on the road so much too. How do you manage those up and comers when you're on the road so much?
That's probably the hardest thing about rodeoing is the 5 months you're gone, the half a year you're gone or more where those horses aren't getting rode. So the winter seems like twice as much work and super crucial for us that when we are home that we do ride those horses,
Yeah.
even on the weekends that we're home and every
Yeah.
day in between. And either you have to pay someone to ride them when you're gone,
Yeah.
or you try to find that time frame where maybe they have been pushed pretty hard, so now they're ready for a break and everywhere in between.
Yeah.
Fortunately enough for us in team roping, there's a lot of pro-ams and smaller stuff that
Yeah.
we can bring them along accordingly and get them going. But still, the guy that stays home, they're usually training the best horses because they're putting the most time in on them.
Would you change anything about this lifestyle?
I don't. It sucks sometimes, I would say, where your time is almost not valuable at all because you're liable to stay at places rodeoing where you spend 2 days roping for $2,200, where like, and it costs a lot to do it. So like,
Yeah.
I wish it was somewhere rodeo got to a point where every steer you ran paid more
Yeah.
and your time was a little more valuable because we spent a lot of miles
Yeah.
away from home that don't really make any money. And then those 10 days in Vegas are huge, And I think that's what also makes the NFR so great is everyone knows what everyone's took to get to this point and what it means.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the summer run, it feels like you're just chasing points to get to that point.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a tough lifestyle. And you're right. I mean, you see that in the barrel racing and all the different disciplines that you're driving a lot of miles to get to that, to get to those dollars, to get to the finals.
Yeah, just to get to the point to have the chance to succeed.
Yeah.
And I would say that was the only thing is like I haven't seen rodeo has grown, but in the 14 years I've been doing it, I don't think it's grown to the potential that it could. But there's a lot of other venues open up doors that we
Yeah.
might get to that point where we are going to get some of their
And
opportunity.
that's it comes up with an article that I believe that your partner just shared on social media about the Hondo.
Yeah.
Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
That's at the Hondo.
Yeah,
Like,
Hondo
right? That
rodeo.
was a big event. It paid a lot of money. And I mean, more opportunity like that for guys like yourself to be able to go and compete at some of those events for the bigger money and maybe be able to have a little bit of a family lifestyle at home.
If they had more Hondos, I'm not sure that any other contestant would want to go anywhere else,
Yeah.
Um, free room when you get there, free stalls, free shavings, and no entry fees, and you rope for 12,000 around. And there was 4 out of the 8 contestants won, 15,000 or more, and they only let eight teams rope, so they won 15 to 40,000 or whatever it was, and the one barrel racer almost won 100 in 3 days.
Wow.
So an event like that, if they have those, 10 or 12 times a year, it'll be hard not to try to go that route, because that's kind of goes back to the point where they do value your time. When you compete, it was for 12,000 bullet, and the average paid 20, and you competed against a small amount of teams, so your odds were pretty good too.
Yeah.
So I hope rodeo's headed in somewhat of a direction like that.
Yeah. Talk about how you give back to the youth.
Well, we started with the World Youth Team Roping, and our plan was literally just have a youth roping and see where it led. And we didn't really know. We just knew that we didn't know any of the young kids coming up, because the opens are usually on Friday, and then the kids rope on Sunday, and most of the ropings are 21 and over, so you don't even see these kids.
Right.
And they had a roping when we were younger like that, where we got to rope with the pros and everything. So we just tweaked that and kind of took their their model and tweaked it to where we thought it could go, and it's been really fun. And it's grown way bigger than I thought it was. The first year there was 1,300 entries from 15 states, and then the next year there was 2,400 entries.
That's awesome.
From 28 states, and this year there was 32 states and over 3,900 runs total for the weekend.
Awesome.
So every time we've paid out a little over $500,000, and we've got to work with great organizations like the Ace Ashford Memorial Roping, where we've got over 30 grand donated to them, for the Ace Ashford, the scholarship fund, and helping rodeo families and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
We've gotten over 50 grand donated to the Golden Circle of Champions the last 2 years. The kids with cancer that support rodeo too, and a couple of other families and organizations like that. We got it a little broader than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
And which is cool when you realize when we get an event like that going and the people behind it, we can help in a million different ways.
Yeah.
And I didn't really think we could. I didn't know what we were doing. The first year we had 1,300 teams, made $6,000. I said, this is going to be a rough road, because it was 4 days of work and 6 months of planning just to get to that point.
Yeah.
But it wasn't really about the money. It was about growth and just seeing what happens.
Yes.
And I'm excited about the future of it, and seeing how many lives we can touch with our dream of getting the rope and produce a roping like that.
Yeah. And I mean, the youth are the future of our industry. I mean, you look at the whole Western performance, horse lifestyle and what we're doing. I mean, just preserving that and allowing these kids to have something like that to look forward to is amazing.
Preserving it is huge, and what I've noticed about the rodeo world is, if you look at almost everyone at the NFR competing at such a high level, their dad did it, or their aunt did it, or their mom. It was all family related. Nobody outside that had absolutely nothing to do with the horse just showed up at the NFR within 10 years.
Yeah.
And we want to give those guys that know absolutely nothing about it a gateway to slowly get into it.
Yeah.
And not just cost $150,000 just to get started. You know what I mean? And
Yes.
we wanted to give the weekend guy with an office job, hey, we can step this up. So we started even having all the way from the dummy roping for the kids to the sled roping, a beginner level sled roping where they don't even compete on steers yet.
Yeah.
And it was only $50 to enter.
Yeah.
And a sled roping, we can start literally from the ground up to grow the sport. Yeah. So the sled roping this year had 250 entries, and it made $8,000, which we thought was a lot in the sled roping. And then we gave away about $17,000 worth of prizes and what it cost to put on, trying to have it that way, which people don't see all the ins and outs of what it takes. But besides that, the point was, let's grow the sport and see what happens. So we felt like the investment was well made, and we were excited for the future of it. And we're hoping to carry that sled roping even further, get people into team roping, get the sport growing, and just seeing where it leads, besides just those same Western families.
Yeah.
Praying that not only we preserve it, but we truly do grow it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. No, I love that you're doing that. So anyway, I'm so happy to have you in the Succeed booth with us today, and we're so proud to have you on Team Succeed.
Yeah, no, thank you. Thank you, guys. And it's a great product. We truly do believe in it. Like my wife said, we have to use it. So here we are. We're using it every day. And all 20 horses that All 20 of the best horses we got get it every day. So,
Awesome.
we go through a ton of it, that's for sure, but it's good stuff.
All right. Well, we're big fans and we're going to cheer you all year long.
Thank you guys.
All right. Thank you so much.
Yes,
Really
ma'am.
appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks.